love your sweater. Oh my God, you look so cute.
Well, thank you so much.
Practice.
I have to like, I'm from CherryPicks, so I have to represent, you know?
Well, it looks great.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Well, first of all, congratulations on this film. Your performance is absolutely breathtaking.
That's very sweet.
Congratulations. I was in so much awe of how you embrace such a beautiful array of emotions in this film and balanced Trisha's ability to be determined, headstrong, and vulnerable and scared in the same breath. Can you talk about finding space for the tender moments during such a turbulent ride?
That's really, really sweet of you to say. Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, I guess something that was interesting for me in playing Trish is just her kind of backwardsness. She's kind of saying usually the opposite of what she feels or even what she means. And like all of the communication is really stilted between the language barrier and then both Trish and Daniel operating from a place of like speaking in half truths and trying to kind of hide what's really happening, even trying to hide that they're falling in love.
Mhm.
So it was kind of complex territory in the sense that no one ever really knew what was happening. But at the same time, it was really simple because you have Claire there who's really kind of carrying the heart of the film and guiding you in the right direction.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've been such a fan of her work for so long. But y'all are a beautiful dream team. I mean, it was just incredible
I
to watch.
love working with her. I mean, she's just so incredibly special.
Yeah, and she just keeps surprising me and surprising me. And talk about not fitting in a box and not wanting to, and just
Totally.
yeah, it was exhilarating. It's exhilarating to watch her work in general, but then this film and your performance, it felt like a perfect marriage. I want to talk about the intimacy between Trish and Daniel because it's such an important part of their story. In your opinion, how can intimacy on screen, for example, the choice to show period sex and period blood, which was amazing to see, how can that help to destigmatize female pleasure and shame, especially in a medium that has created harmful depictions in the past?
That's true. I mean, I hadn't really thought about it that way, but I think that that's probably a reflection of Claire and what she stands for. She is like one of the original feminists. She's had like a very kind of like punk rock existence within the world for a long time. Like she's just certainly not a sellout. She knows what she stands for, and she's gonna go out that way, which is incredibly admirable. And yeah, this isn't somebody who's in any way kind of capitalizing on a movement. She's been treading this path for a very long time. And there isn't necessarily a message behind the film, but I think it is great. I hadn't even considered this, to be honest. Like I hadn't considered the way that that could affect an audience member. But I'm glad that it could potentially.
I mean, I think like it should be a standard, right? Like it's something that Claire has been just kind of showing what is and what should be.
Exactly, like a pursuit of truth and honesty.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's a shame that we haven't seen more of that to make it feel so normal.
Right.
And I just thought it was incredibly, I mean, it is like, I hate to use this word brave, but it is in a sense. I mean, I don't think she thinks about that when she's making a film, but as an
Totally.
audience member, I'm just like, hell yes. Like
Right.
it's
second nature to her. She wouldn't consider it any other way. And yet at the same time, it's influential for people that haven't gone there.
especially in American cinema, I think
Yeah.
too. And so, I mean, we've been kind of behind on the beautiful and the complexities of intimacy on screen because truly, when done when done naturally and well, it's so powerful, and it can just, like I said, with Trish and Daniel, it really gives you so much
Right.
insight into their relationship and their characters.
Right.
So it was refreshing, and it was really,
I'm so glad you think so.
yeah, absolutely.
I want to hear your perspective on that.
You can tell I really love the film. Speaking of working with Claire, did you learn anything new about yourself professionally working with her?
Well, I think it's really like one thing I've learned, and that is that you know, essentially, like, you want the best driver possible behind the wheel so that you can feel the safest in the car and have the most fun on the ride, you know. And Claire's the epitome of that, because she I felt like so held by her, and because of that I had the opportunity to really play and fall over and over in any direction, and know that she would she wouldn't embarrass me, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the result is kind of what we were talking about in the beginning, which is that sort of like giving into the chaos of the situation, and of Trisha's just like, yeah, I mean, speaking of, she also, I thought it was really interesting how, like, she's told throughout the film constantly that she's not a journalist, even though she knows, you know, what is the truth. She knows
Sure.
that she is. But how do you think that her sense of self, but also her awareness of how she's perceived, how do you feel like that helps her to navigate and survive?
Yeah, I think that it's exactly what you're saying, in the sense that she knows who she is, but she's also like, well, if this is how I'm coming across, then I'm going to use this to my advantage, because this is one of the tools that I have to survive at this moment. And if I don't use all of the tools, I simply won't survive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, because it's like, to peel back all of the layers of the film, it's very relatable, just being kind of a woman in this world. On, obviously this is an exaggerated circumstance. This is a big, you know, big ride and journey, but I feel like that her intuition is, we see that at play in the film. And I mean, that's a testament to your stunning performance. So, oh, congratulations. Thank you for gifting us with this film.
You're such a sweetheart.
It comes from the heart. I was just blown away. I mean, I've watched you, you know, since the beginning, and this is just, it's Oscar worthy, truly, Margaret. It's like,
Thank you.
and it's stunning. So thank you.
I really, really enjoyed talking to you. You're so kind. Thank you.